not just about the concept, it's about really embodying it. So can you give us an example of how you would actually execute that and help people embody what it means to be all in for all life?
Yeah, yeah. So we have 3 days, right? There's the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday. And I'll give you the high level of what those 3 days represent and then kind of go a little bit lower level. And the first day is really about understanding and feeling into our own impermanence. And there's been Buddhist meditations for millennia that revolve around confronting daily the fact that we only have so many days to live on this planet. And that's something that I don't think is really prevalent in our society. There's not very many people walking around thinking about, hey, you've only got a couple of days, you've only got so many days to live your life, so what are you going to do with it? A lot of the religions actually just keep talking about eternity, 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 eternity. So we can actually kind of get allured into this fallacy that we don't have to worry about the preciousness of the moment because we just got like forever. And so the first day is going to bring us real grounded into recognizing the preciousness of life and accepting the fact that we as individuals only have so much time. And there's a couple of different meditation practices and conversational points and experiences that we'll go through to bring this all the way home. And when a person is able to kind of go through this experience of acceptance, then it opens up the capacity to experience more and do more and be more in the world. Because something that I've kind of come to find out through my own life experience is that the fear of death subtly distracts us from living life. And when that piece gets eradicated, then we're no longer playing the safe game. Because my personal belief is that every way we try to quote-unquote play it safe, whether it's culturally or with our businesses or with our activities and our travels, that if you follow it all the way back, it goes back to our fear of death. Even socially, we're so wired socially as Homo sapiens that because we came in, we lived in tribes for the majority of our human history, and that tribe was life, right? And so, if you got kicked out of the tribe, that was pretty much a death sentence because it was inside the tribe that you found safety, that you found food, that you found all the things you need to be alive. So you piss off people in your tribe and you get kicked out, and that's death, right? So subtly in our evolutionary kind of instinct, the fear of not being accepted by our social sphere is akin to the fear of death. And so I kind of bring up this point and several others to just make the point that when we accept that head on, then it just liberates us, because we can overcome a lot of the other fears that we might not have realized are connected to that piece. So anyways, kind of a wordy way of answering your question, but looking at that piece is one of the main components, and daily recognizing and accepting that and then living from that place is a part of the practice of someone living all in for all life.
Well, I remember, the experience that you took me through, which is, right in line with what you had just shared right now, which is, stepping into a body bag and going into that bag. And that was probably one of the most profound experiences that I've had in terms of my mortality and death, and, I'll never forget it. So if experiences that you're creating are anything like that, then myself and everyone included are going to be in for a nice little ride, and I'm excited for that.
And what shifted in you since that experience that you had?
It's a great question. Well, certainly less fear. Certainly less fear. I have this attitude now that, I don't have very much time, on this earth, and I want to do as much as I can and give back as much as I can and make as big as an impact as possible. So I better get to working on that. And not only that, but doing what I love to do. That's, another shift that had occurred in me is like, well, why am I doing all this shit that doesn't light me up? Like, doesn't make me excited about life. So now I'm just, pointing my compass towards all the things that I really love and enjoy about life. And as a result, it just leads to more happiness. And I want the same for as many people as possible. So I know that that's what you guys will be doing as part of, this event.
Yeah. I think part of what I've experienced and really part of what I feel we're wanting to bring to this experience is this idea of experiencing what's possible. And for me, if I was still stuck in this living life the way I thought I should mentality, I kind of believed that there was certain things I had to do in order to make money and that there was this way of life that was just how it is. And at a certain point, something switched, and I started, trying new things on and realizing that exactly what you just shared, Jay. Like, I want to be doing the thing that I love most and making money while doing it, and that my work can be my play. And I think at one point it might have lived in me as an idea and something that I might have believed was possible, but until I actually experienced it, I didn't understand it. And so part of what we're also wanting to, help cultivate here is experiences that can really, bring us into the feeling of what it actually is and what it feels like to love what it is we're doing and to live this present and this fully. And I think just finding those practices that we can bring into our everyday lives is an important piece for us to experience what's possible so that we can not just believe it, but really know it.
Mm. And having the experiences allow us to actually know it is what, I found in my life. Like, there's only so much reading that you can do,
Right.
and then the reading has to be integrated so that it's embodied. But not really understanding until now, like, how important it is to create experiences for myself that, allow me to integrate what I've learned into my life. And so that's what I've been focused on doing. And so events like this and what you guys are putting on are exactly those type of outlets for myself and others like me to create that in our lives.
Yeah, what you just described to me sounded like a truly purpose-driven life. And I'm sure there are thousands of books, at least, out there teaching people to lead that purpose-driven life. And I say it just like that because I have a book that's called The Purpose-Driven Life that I never made it all the way through. and it may have been, small pieces of nuggets that I took away from that, but an experience like this weekend that we're going to experience really embeds that in our DNA, in our cells, and allows us to embody that, like you were saying, just really feel how that is and learn that way of being forward from that space.
April, there's two things that I've kind of observed that naturally emerge when a person recognizes, hey, I've only got so many years on this planet, what am I going to do with my time? One of those is, well, I want to make sure that I make a difference while I'm here and live a purpose-driven life like you and Adele are talking about and actually have a reason for being. And then the other piece that's really naturally related to it is, and I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I want to really drink up what's available in all of the moments. And so while we'll talk deeply about living a purpose-driven life and have experiences around that and also create accountability and networks around those conversations, we'll also look at how to ensure that you don't miss your life in the process of living a purpose-driven life. Because how many stories do we know of the person who had a quote-unquote a purpose-driven life and they gave everything they had for 30, 40, 50 years to create something, and they didn't smell the roses and missed their children growing up in the process, right? So it's really, having a purpose-driven life isn't enough to be all in for all life. It's only part of the equation. But knowing how to be able to appreciate every moment for what it has to offer. And that's kind of where this concept of being a connoisseur of moments comes in. April, have you ever felt that you know, you might just have a day that just kind of rushes by, or you might feel that you're moving so quickly in life that it's hard for you to really grasp onto and appreciate the experience that you're having moment by moment?
Absolutely, yeah.
And there's almost, for me, there's almost some sense of like kind of like emptiness, or like I lost out on it kind of a thing. And you know, I had my head down in my computer. I missed the sunset, that kind of a thing, you know.
Yeah, or
so,
for me, I've been doing the same thing as a massage therapist for years, and I feel like, yes, I'm helping people individually, but doing it full time for 10 years, that's all I know. A lot of times I'm in that room and I'm working with this one person, and I'm thinking, what does it feel like outside? And I actually expand my awareness out, so I'm like embodying, I'm just like feeling what's going on in the universe at that time. But to be out there and experiencing something else in that moment, a lot of times is all I really desire. And I feel like, who else could I be helping right now? With what other gifts? What other gifts do I have? And I'm in that transition right now. As you know, we've spoken on it on several occasions.
yeah.
So this is exactly what I'm experiencing, what you just said. I experience it in a little different way because my head's not in a computer, but I am closed in a room where it's very serene and dark and, you know, spa. Yeah.
You know, April, one of the things that emerges as you start to become a connoisseur of your moments is that you find the richness in every moment. Like, for example, I was out surfing today, and I was going through my practice of being a connoisseur of the moments, and rather than just paddling back out into the waves, I was noticing all the sounds of the water dropping back on the water that my paddling was making. I was noticing my breath as I was paddling. I was noticing how my shoulder muscles were working, like, and how they were moving and pulling my body forward. And it was almost like a drug trip kind of thing. It was a fantastically sensory stimulating experience to drop into being like, how could I appreciate this moment like a wine connoisseur appreciates a drop of wine, right? And when we do that, we not only just are able to expand our appreciation and explode the love that we're having, but we also are able to recognize, like you're saying about being in a massage room, that, you know what, maybe I would choose a different type of moment tomorrow because I'm really reflecting upon the moment that I'm having today. And so it can result in both deeper appreciation and also clarity around how we might want to move forward and what the moments are really delivering us, or what needs might not be met. But we can only really know what needs aren't being met by, again, dropping into that moment and noticing what's real. So again, being a connoisseur of the moment is another topic that we'll be bringing into the weekend, and that's really going to be day 2, to deeply explore that component and how embodying that is integral to finding happiness, to finding fulfillment, and also being equipped with the juice that the presence offers in order to really enact positive change, living a purpose-driven life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I have experienced many moments like that. That's when I feel like I had an amazing day. Like, yeah, that was
right, beautiful.
Yeah, and the moment, the connoisseur of the moment, it isn't always just in that space of what feels like this mindfulness and this. It is a heightened awareness, and I love the experience that you just shared. But it can also really come from that place of receiving all of the joy and all of the beauty that surrounds us in every moment, and finding that real sense of gratitude for it. And while it can be felt in this way that's very almost like calm and meditative. It can also be expressed in a way that's super joyful and abundant, and it's like that thriving energy too, right? So I think that part of the experience is exploring all of the different ways that we can fully receive from the moment so that we can give more to each moment as well. And that it doesn't look like just one thing over the next.
I'm gonna go out into the ocean now and paddle. See what that feels like again.
Now that we touched on we're a little bit of what we're to expect on the second day, can you give a little highlight of each day? It is going to be 3 days, right? Friday.
Yeah. So all the days will definitely integrate together, but the first day is primarily looking at appreciating our impermanence and accepting that really scary thing of the fact that our life is finite, and what does that mean, and what are the implications, what arises when we really accept that, and how do we actually accept that. And the second day is, okay, cool, so we get that piece. Well, now let's make sure that we can deepen our presence, deepen our appreciation, and deepen our receptivity to what life has to offer. So there'll definitely be some content around that, and we'll create experiences where we can go out into nature and connect in that kind of momently way and slow down life and notice how much there is really to appreciate in every given moment in our experiences. And then the third day is really oriented towards getting powerfully clear on what our purpose is as individuals and how we can give our unique gifts to make a positive contribution, and not only a positive contribution today, but to position that positive contribution to have benefits in future generations. So those are the three kind of high-level components of it. And again, all the days are going to kind of bleed together, but if I give each day a label, that's how I do it.
I love
How does that sound?
That sounds right.
That's awesome. And so now, like, what the question that came to me as we were speaking is, for the people that you two and we all are looking to attract for this experience, what would you say is what they're looking for out of life right now? What stage in life are they at, and what are they looking for, and what might this experience do for them?
I think it seems the people we're attracting are those who are really ready and wanting change, who've likely, done some work and are, feeling into this desire to contribute more, this desire to leave a legacy, have an impact, experience more from life. And they're feeling probably like they're on the cusp of this radical transformation, but they're just not quite there. Like they, kind of might be experiencing some of what's possible, but just have this sense that there's more, and are also probably just craving this community connection and this retreat aspect, and maybe feeling like they need to just either disconnect a little bit from the technology and the responsibility and the busyness of life, and wanting that retreat-like aspect, and also simultaneously wanting that community connection and that love and that that thing that comes when you're living in family and you're being together in that love and that celebration of life together. So I think it's many things, but those are just a few of the ways that I would speak into who I believe we've been attracting so far.
Did you create this weekend for me?
Maybe.
Remember last Wednesday how I said that Facebook post was written for me? That
Yes, April, I keep tapping into your energy and just creating all these things, all these experiences that I feel you'll just really enjoy.
I'm so blessed to be invited and have this opportunity to be with you guys this weekend.
I think it's in the air, April, really. I mean, just the whole concept of being all in for all life. There's nothing really novel about it, but it's a bringing together and a labeling these concepts, these principles that many of us, I think, care a lot about. And so, I think that you're probably not alone in feeling that this topic and this conversation is appropriate and is timely, because just seems to be kind of in the air, that people are ready to take everything to the next level, and to be able to have community and to be able to share that value set with other people that are also saying, hey, I'm all in for all life. I get that I'm gonna die, and I want to live every moment, and I don't want to leave anything on the field, as they might say back in the sports days. I want to just give it all, and I want to receive all that life has to give me. I don't want to just receive parts of it. I want to receive all of it, the good, the difficult, the challenging, the beautiful, the loving, and I want to give. I want to just leave my stamp on the world. I want to make a contribution. I'd like to be able to build a foundation in the life that I live that future generations can leverage to be able to have an even better experience than I did. I think that all these things are ripe in the field of the seekers, and it's our intention to help to just kind of cultivate that and galvanize that, both within an individual and also within community, so that we can all be all in for all life together.
And I want this, so may I state my intention for the weekend?
By all means.
Please.
I've been feeling this a lot and stating it a lot. Like, my intention now is to create heaven on earth. And my intention is to, well, attempt to live that every day, of course, but really experience that throughout the weekend, and enough to really carry me through and just feel like I'm floating through life and know exactly where I need to be at what time and for what reason, and everything is purposeful and impactful, and spreading that heavenly feeling to all around me. That's my intention.
It's a beautiful intention, April. Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me one thing that you're really passionate about as an individual. Something that kind of you feel in your body that you really just feel a lot for.
Well, since I'm in that energy of just heaven on earth, what I'm passionate about is enjoying life. I think that has been one of the most difficult things for me my entire life, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Just really enjoying life and not feeling like I have to be somewhere doing something for someone else, and this is life and this is what I have to do, and feeling like I'm stuck or I'm in prison. And so I feel like that is one of my biggest passions, is finding true happiness and spending time with others who are
So, 2 more questions for you, April. How could you be using that passion, the passion of just loving life, to be able to serve others today?
low battery.
Oh. We need to do a battery check. Answer that question.
He needs to. Sorry, I just noticed our low batteries just popped up. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah. How can you be using that passion, the passion to love life? How can you be using that passion to serve people around you?
How could I use that passion to serve people around me?
Mm-hmm.
I could see it in many ways. I mean, seems very general, but I mean, I am doing it now, as a body worker, massage therapist, healing arts practitioner, but to step it up another level, because I'm not always enjoying it. Because sometimes I'm like, I signed up for this and this is what I have to do. I'm an employee and I have to be there, and there are times that I'm just like, okay, push everything aside and I'm here, right? But to live that passion and to really spread to others I think it's just being, right? Was this a trick question?
No,
I don't think
not.
there's a better answer than just being and living it, right?
Well, here's the thing, right? See, I kind of see it as like this like three kind of tier process, and the first kind of tier is that we recognize what it is that we're passionate about. Okay, that's a biggie. The first step is actually curiosity. We kind of have curiosities about things, and then that leads us to start to become passionate about things. And when we become passionate about things, that leads us to better understand what our purpose is, right?
Can you
And
hold?
then,
I'm sorry. Can I pause you just for a second?
The
Because I
battery is
cannot
over.
concentrate because I'm afraid that the computer is going to turn off at any point. You don't have the
No,
charger in
the
your.
battery is over at the
Okay,
house
so
right
we
now.
may lose you. So,
Okay.
well, sorry.
all right,
No.
well, let's actually bring it into a close then, okay?
Okay.
So I'll wrap up.
What
Kind
you're
of,
saying, I'm very into what you're saying.
yeah, sure. So there's kind of these things that happen, right? We got to get curious about things in life, and then we start to develop passions, and as we start to become more passionate, we start to really get clear what our purpose is, because our purpose is kind of a manifestation of those passions, and then we kind of get clear on what our purpose is, what we want to achieve, and then we come to understand what our gifts are, kind of what we're going to give to be able to help to achieve that. And then from that place, we can use our ability to give our gifts to be able to serve the people around us. And what our gifts are very well connected to what our passion is. So someone like yourself who's passionate about loving life can really find out how to be able to package that passion and give it to other people, whether it's through conversation or whether it's through experiences. Or I know that you and Jay run a business called the Evo Room, which I think is an example of how you use your personal passion of loving life and you're using it to actually serve other people. And then the higher question, which we won't have to answer right now, but I think it's worth asking, is, if I could use this passion to serve the people around me, if there was somebody who was going to live 100 years from now and was asking me to live and give that passion in such a way that would benefit them, then how might that adjust the gifts that I'm giving? And how might I be able to really give for someone who's going to live in the future? And it creates a different level of creativity to the thinking that we're doing, right? Because now it's like, well, wait a second, I'm passionate about loving life, but maybe I want to actually do research about people that love life to be able to understand the key behaviors that people that really love their lives enact. And then I want to package that in a piece of writing or a book or a piece of some type of conversation that then other people can learn from and leverage, and we can upgrade the source code of humanity by giving some unique contribution that people 100 years from now might be able to benefit from. So that's kind of what it means to live all in for all life, is that we're not only recognizing what our passions are, but we're giving our gifts, and we're asking the question of how giving our gifts might serve generations that haven't even been born yet, and generations of all life, not even just people, but really as stewards of the biosphere and stewards of life in general, how we can support as a part of this beautiful thing called life.
Thank you. I saw so much with that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
my consciousness expanded. Huge.
Excellent. And that was the like 19-second version when your battery's about to die. Imagine diving into that conversation for 3 days. Where do you end up?
Juicy.
Oh, that's perfect. That was a nice little sampler, because I'm totally.
That was just a tease. Our battery's not going to die. We just wanted you to.
She's like, just get to the point already.
I'm kidding. No, you really might lose us very soon.
All right, Jay, if we're coming to a close, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from Adele, and let's just kind of let's bring it in for a landing.
Whew. This is it. I mean, the time is now. Just what you said is really what I believe this world needs, this earth needs, and to have an experience like that'll help us embody the principles that you just shared is tremendous. And again, I just must commend you and Adele for embarking upon this journey and this adventure that starts on the 28th of this month, and I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for all of us, that are putting the work together for making this happen. I'm excited for all those that are going to experience this, and all the people that they are going to touch when they walk back into the world, and share what they learned from this experience. It's going to be a tremendous ripple effect, and it's already started. And I cannot wait to just spread that to as far as the universe goes.
That was so beautiful, Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you. For me, I know I just want to, speak into heaven on earth for a moment, April. For me, what that really feels like is, the coming together, and the everyone uniting, and the finding the love, and the finding the connection, and the getting reconnected to the earth. And from there, really learning and listening to ourselves, figuring out who we truly are on the inside and what we've really come here to do, and finding that place of connection where who we are is what we're here to do. And so when we can really tune into the truth of our own unique expression and live fully in the present moment and fully expressed in that moment, then who we naturally are is the gift we give to others, and is the gift that we leave for future generations. And so to really have this experience where we can experience what's possible when we come together in so many ways, to experience ourselves in a new way and really find what we're here to give.
I love that you brought it back to, because that's really the end result. April, I agree with you. Adele, I agree with you, that in living this way, we become a proponent and a contributor to getting one step closer to heaven on earth. And that seems like a noble goal for us to work towards.
Well, considering what happened last time we were in Ojai, where it felt like heaven on earth.
It really did.
It totally felt like it. And, that's what excites me for what's to come, because I know there's no going backwards for us, because we're evolving all the time. So we're stepping up our games, and we've evolved ever since that time. So what is going to come of, this next coming of All In for All Life? I'm really excited to see what unfolds.
Awesome. Well, if you're watching this live, thank you for joining us. And if you're thinking about coming to the event, we encourage you to go to the Facebook event and fill out an application. It's just 4 questions, and then we're responding back via email to those that do fill out the applications. If you're watching this via YouTube later, then right below this video, there will be a link to the Facebook event. You can just click on it, go to it, read all the details, and fill out the application if you're interested. We're still accepting applications. Also, we'll have a link below this video of the property that we're going to be at. It's beautiful, 5 acres, private land, in a very sacred spot in Ojai. We have the whole thing to ourselves, and so just click through. And if you're not already in, by the time you check out some of the images of the property we'll be on, you'll be mesmerized, and you might be in.
Yeah.
That way.
And there will be lots of time to play and do your own thing. There's the sauna, there's the hot tub. So as much as we want to share the content and share these exercises and practices, there will also be lots of time to be with each other and be on your own and have the experience that you want to cultivate for yourself as well.
Which really is the integration of the content, right? So we'll be able to have blocks of real deep engagement, and then blocks of space. And if talking to other people there about what we learned is really what's going to serve you, then by all means. And if meditating in the forest is something that you feel is going to serve you, then there's decks that are just out in the trees, and it's really a beautiful setup. So whatever you're in it for, you're gonna leave really juiced up. And that
run around butt naked, and have a great time. I'll be doing that, so you guys can join me.
All in for all nudity. That's Jay's.
And Jay knows how to start a dance party too.
Well, you know how to start a dance party.
I also know how to start a dance party. So between you and I, Jay, there will be lots of fun going on.
Yeah. No, the evenings will be fun. The meals will be a blast.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's gonna feel really contrived. Like if you've been to some workshops or some retreats, it's gonna feel really natural and a lot of fun. And we're just gonna focus on just being super real and coming together, being authentic, exploring some evolutionary and transformational content, enjoying the land, and by 5 p.m. on Sunday night, whenever we're driving away, we'll all just kind of be doing the one of those like, whoa.
This really happened?
Does that really happen?
I'm starting to bounce, and I always notice I bounce when I get excited.
Yeah, that's the truth of the matter. All right. Thank you. Any last thoughts or comments, Jay, April?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I love you guys.
I got so much just out of this conversation.
Yeah.
So I can really imagine. I'm really looking forward to it.
Gorgeous. Well, thank you both for joining us tonight. And
that's all I got. So much love to everyone who's watching this video. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. And for the right folks, we hope to see you in Ojai.
Yeah, looking forward to more.
All right, over and out.